7 years. She's forgotten about it. She's forgiven me. She came over to me to talk about how wonderful a life I must have and how beautiful my wife is and how cute my son is and to congratulate me for having a good life. Yet I ruined hers for 7. She's a far better person than I am. She's such a wonderful person because she endured so much from me and my friends, but she still could come up to me and be kind to me, be nice to me, even after what I did. I pray, I hope, I implore each and every one of you in here, if you are a bully, or you're somebody who's watching bullying happen, stop it now. Because it will go with you. It will stay with you for the rest of your life. I'm 33. I got another 40, 50 years on this planet, and I'm going to have to live with it right here in my heart of what I did was wrong. And it's never going to go away. You have a chance right now that you're young and you can stop it right now. Because bullying isn't about fighting anymore. I don't see very much fighting. I don't see anybody throwing food or objects at people here. I don't see that sort of thing happening. What I see is a student sitting down at lunch by themselves eating because no one wants to sit with them. What I see is that student out on the soccer field or on the playground sitting down by themselves because no one wants to play with them. What I hear about are Facebook messages and statuses on Gmail and all other chats that are saying bad things about people. And that's just as bad. That hurts. And it's up to you guys to be the leaders of the elementary school, the 5th graders, the big kids, the older kids, the kids that the 4th graders look up to and say, wow, I want to be like them. It's for you to make a stand and say, I'm not going to let that happen in my middle school. I don't want to feel like Mr. Harding when I'm 33 years old. I don't want to feel like that. I want to be happy when I'm 33 and have a beautiful family. I pray, I ask, I beg you, take a stand right now. Don't make the mistakes I did. I'm thankful that she's forgiven me. I'm thankful that I'm sure God has forgiven me. But I can't forgive myself. And I don't know if I ever will. Because all I think about, especially when I'm teaching, is looking at you guys and thinking, that could have been her. That could have been him. It could have been Kay. That's all I can think of. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that this has inspired you. This has helped you to really feel like you need to make a stand, that you need to be the one to stand up and say, no more bullying here. And that next year when you come up to 6th grade and I see you walking around the middle school, I can see that you have taken a stand, and the stand will stay in middle school. Thank Mr. Chan for inviting me in. You guys listened really well.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. And on the behalf of all the 5th graders that will be hearing this on the other side as well, and our class again, I think we owe Mr. Harding a thorough round of applause. So that's where we're going to take it. We're going to hold you guys in here for a bit so that we can talk about and think about what was just presented to you. Is there anything else?
No. Just the focus of the middle school was off of the bullies this year. This year the focus was on the bystanders, those people who sit down and do nothing. And that's the next step for GSIS, is to now start looking at the bystanders. We've talked about the bullies for 4 years. Now it's time to put some responsibility on the bystanders, the people who are watching the bullying happening, doing nothing about it. And in the coming years, we're going to put the focus on the bully. Because for 4 years, we've been talking about the victim. And what can the victim do? But we've never talked about the bully or the bystander. And that's where we're going. So if you want to lead in that direction, that'd be a good way to go.
So there's 3 sides to all of this. There's the bystander, the people that are indirectly involved. You have the bully themselves and the victim. There's those 3 sides to this whole relationship that makes, bullying what it is. And in middle school, they focused this year on, what are the responsibilities as a Christian, responsibilities of a citizen of the school, as a bystander, someone watching all of this happen. Cannon.
I think there's one more person, like the people who help the bully. Isn't that one of the people who were involved?
Sure.
Does anybody have any questions they want to ask me? Yeah.
What's the girl's name?
Kathy. Yes, sir.
Do you know how old she is now?
She's my age. She's 33. We were the same age. Yeah. Oh, this summer? It took me a little while. I said thank you, of course. She said I had a beautiful wife and a beautiful family and that my life was great, but I said thank you. I was kind of shocked because I know that if the roles were switched, I don't think I would have come over. I think I would still be angry at that person. I just said thank you. I asked her how things were going, and she told me she was in school now, upgrading her education, that she was married, and that she hoped to have children. That's as far as the conversation went. I was very uncomfortable because the first thing came to my mind was what I did. And I didn't want my wife to know what I did. And I didn't want my son to know what I did, so it's kind of like, I got to keep this a secret. I've since told my wife what I did. And I decided I'm going to tell my son when he's old enough to understand what I did. And hope that he can learn from it. Anyone else?
When you were young, how did you decide to pick on her?
I don't know. I know that she was different than the rest of us. And I think I saw older people bullying people in their age, and I thought that was the cool thing to do, and so I did that, but I really don't know. I don't know why I decided that was the person I wanted to bully. I think it was just that person stood out for a reason. They were a little different than me and my friends, so I would pick up. She didn't pick up for herself. She was an easy target for me. She sat there and let me do whatever I wanted to do. And so she didn't defend herself. She didn't say stop. She didn't tell her parents. She didn't tell her teachers. She didn't tell anybody. And so it was easy. That's why I kept doing it. Like I started doing it because she was different, but I kept doing it because it was easy. If you are being bullied, you have to tell somebody. Because I know if she had told her parents or told her teachers or the principal, I'm sure I would have stopped. Anyone else? Yeah.
How did you stop bullying?
I finished high school. It didn't stop until I left high school. Well, I stopped bullying her because I made a decision around 8th or 9th grade to say, okay, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do anything. But I still let it happen. I still watched it happen. I did nothing about it. And that happened right up until I finished high school. And so when I moved away to university, that's when it stopped. But it only stopped because I moved. It didn't stop because I wanted it to stop. It's a terrible choice by me. I hope none of you make it. you guys. You can